I... What the hell does this thing have? Oh. Oh. I remember this thing now. This is the thing that I plan on taking on B-World server and clapping the shit out of him with. Hopefully. And then here's its younger sister? Well, this is the... Yeah, this is its older sister, because it's all beat up. Took it into a few battles, took some damage. Surprisingly, nothing internal. My stealth craft. I'm gonna have to add something in here so I can toggle the beacon. And my damaged space facility that was attacked twice. From what? I still have to figure that one out. Alright, let's see. Nope, yeah, nope, yeah, here we go. Light block. No, no. Light armor block. No, God, damn it! Stop it! Two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh shit. Oh wait, nope. It was supposed to be heavy block. But before I do that, I do these. Door. Where is the door? Door. Doorknob. Heavy block. No, come here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, four, five, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's see. Well, a heads up about music disclaimers. Or not music disclaimers, but, you know, not being able to use music for your YouTube channel. As long as you don't it's okay to use it on your channel as long as you say ahead of time, hey, I don't own these songs. And guess what? Hey, I don't own these songs. I am playing them mainly to, you know, keep my mindset safe for myself and my viewers. Music keeps me calm, relaxed, and collective. Because I think the last thing my viewers need is to hear me screaming, you know, profanities and other shit that may or may not come out of my mouth when I get really, really, really agitated. So, yeah. I listen to this music. Do I own the music? No. Do I use it on my channel? Yes. However, in the end of the day, I listen to it for my own enjoyment. Nor do I profit from music being on my channel. I just have it on my channel just because. And if you're interested in any of the music that I'm playing, leave a timestamp and a comment asking me what song from what part of the video, because, I wouldn't know what song it is unless you actually tell me, hey, it's, this song from, blah, 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 this minute, this second, type thing, and then I'll be able to go in and lead you guys in the right direction. However, like I said, or like the disclaimer says, I have no way of editing my videos. And I suppose I could adjust my audio mix so then the music is not heard. However, if I did that, then you guys wouldn't hear me. And I would much rather take the chance, knowing that my viewers can hear my voice and enjoy my video, than not take the chance and my viewers being disappointed because I'm not talking. And any song artist would understand that. Because there's no point in doing it if nobody's gonna, be able to, see and or enjoy what you're doing. Because it defeats the purpose of, stuff like that. And plus, since I don't profit from the music being in my channel, or since I don't get any profit at all, I don't really have to worry about it. At least, not right now. Plus, gotta give the song artists credit when credit is due. Because, it's only fair. I use their music for my channel. Might as well promote their music if I can. Hell, all my friends listen to the same music as me, so... And even they can say, hey, even the song artist needs a little help, making their music known. Well, a better way is letting people use your music for, YouTube videos. Nothing wrong with a good old-fashioned collaboration. Even though I know there's nobody watching my video right now, I'm just gonna say it just because. What do you guys think of my base so far? You know, despite it being on fire. Literally. I'm going with a kind of like a Mobile Suit Gundam Xeon slash Zaft with a little bit of House Liao from Mech Warrior mixed in. Actually, no, not really Xeon. Because, like, the ships, those would be like Xeon ships. This right here is just straight up House Liao from Mech Warrior. I think the color scheme looks really nice. However, I feel like it could use like a skyscraper like right in here. Maybe some buildings sprouting out from the underbutt. And yes, I just called that the underbutt. What of it? Oh, shit. Sometimes I love this building system, and other times I hate it. Although, definitely don't think I'm gonna ever like or get used to the building system that they're using on Space Engineers 2. Chances are of me getting used to that building system is like never. That's why if I ever get the building or get the game, I'll have somebody else do my building for me because I wouldn't know where to start. Nor do I want to. Because a great leader delegates. And yes, I did just quote Stoic the Vast from How to Train Your Dragon. Good show. Or, I should say good movie and, well, series, whichever one you watch, doesn't really matter. It's all good. However, I do not approve, like, I understand, like, this is their choice as, you know, the movie director's choice. But really, Astrid is not black. She is a blonde person. And last time I checked, and, you know, like, I'm trying to be as non-racist as possible here. Black people cannot be blonde. Or at least I should say, to correct myself, it is very uncommon for black people to be, well, blonde. Because that is a trait that is primarily white people. It's a genetic trait. You can't just take Astrid and then turn her into like some random blonde black chick. And for one, she's not even blonde in the live action movie. Like, don't mess with the genre's lore. She was always a white person. She was never a black person, not even in the books. She was never depicted to have dark skin. Because Vikings, in reality, would kill colored people. 9 times out of 10. Because, for one, the whole Viking Catholic thing. The Vikings were forced into Catholicism. Or however you call it, because either way, it's just, Catholic, Christian, the whole idea is just stupid. Like, why would you divide people through religion? Like, isn't religion supposed to bring people together, not divide them? But then again, that's just, my opinion. But, like, my point about the whole Astrid thing still stands. The fact that they're making her into a black person with dark hair that doesn't even look like her, by the way, at all, is just an insult to all those who actually watched the movie and enjoyed the movie as is. If you're gonna do a live action, pick the proper actor for the job, not sit there and be all like, oh, we want to be inclusive to all the other... No. Now you're just letting, Black Lives Matter movement roll into your studio and take charge. And now they're just walking all over you because, now they know they can get their way by sweet-talking your ass. Don't feed into the Black Lives Matter movement. All it is just another... Oh, how do I say this without making myself sound like an ass? Because, I clearly ain't. I'm just speaking the truth. It's just another one of those things that tends to get a lot of people under one flag and turns people against each other. It's just extra drama that sits there and divides our country more than it should be. Because I'm one who's in strong belief to where gender, race, and age don't mean shit. I look at the facts, and the facts are not everybody is made equal. Those be the facts. And those facts will never change. Prime example. I'm really good at first-person shooters. I'm really good at building games. And I'm really good at RPGs. Or role-playing games. However, I am not equal to my good friend B-Will. Because he's better at almost every game genre. Plus, unlike him, I don't have a job. So, that's another thing meaning that, he's slightly more superior than I am. And I do say slightly because, gotta give myself credit. At least I'm good at, other shit like, artwork and putting together model kits and, just, I'm better with the more smaller tasks in life, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that just, that gets chalked up to the fact that, not everybody's made equal, nor should anybody expect equality. Because equality isn't something that you just get right out the gate. It's something that you have to earn. And if you don't earn that equality, if you didn't fight for it, or I should say, if you didn't, because fighting for it, that's just showing that, you don't deserve to be equal, because you're just showing that you're just a wild animal, you know, trying to force your ways onto the world. If you want equality, you gotta earn it through respect and kindness. You can't just get it just because, oh yeah, my forefathers fought for all these rights, but yet, you know, we don't get treated as equals, blah, 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 blah. You know, that's just like a very common thing that people say to lash out at the world. However, the truth is, they didn't earn that equality. Their ancestors earned that equality. But right now, they don't have that equality because they didn't fight for it. They weren't the ones who fought for it. Their ancestors fought for it. Therefore, right now, all they're really doing is showing that, you know, all this stuff that their ancestors fought for was in vain, because they're just proving all of the people who, you know, kept them down for so many generations right about almost everything. And like a lot of people say, that's kind of a racist view. It's like, no, this is coming from somebody who hates every. I'm not racist. I just expect, if you want, you know, me to respect you and, you know, treat you as an equal, show me that you deserve said respect instead of sitting there and demanding it. And I have a few colored friends who would back me up and say, hey, this man has a point. Because like, there's been a few times where like there's a situation where I almost got my ass kicked, and they're just like, no, you're not gonna beat him up, because wanna know why? This man has a point, and you're just gonna validate it through violence. Because in the end of the day, people use violence to make themselves feel better. People protest to make themselves feel better. Does that mean that they deserve respect? No. You protest, you lash out at the world, you're just showing that you're no better than, well, I'm just gonna be blunt, you're just showing that you're no better than Hitler. You're lashing out at the world and expecting the world to do what you want it to do without, you know, looking at the consequences of what you're actually doing and what you actually want. Because when you're in, like, an area where, like, everybody, like, prime example, America, everybody who's an American citizen, like an actual American citizen, has some kind of military background in their family. If you don't have military or, you know, prime example, construction work in your family bloodline, like, I'm not saying you don't belong here, because, like, if you're born here, that's different. But if you, like, immigrate here and you don't contribute to helping America grow as a whole, and you just sit there and, you know, expect all this nice shit for free just because you moved here, and you know, think that you deserve respect just because you live in an American house, it don't work that way. Respect is a two-way street. Double-edged swords. It works both ways. You want people to respect you, you need to pull your weight. That's the America I know. And that's the America I strive for. And if I was president, like if I was a presidential candidate, a bunch of people called liberals will try to get me removed because I would actually be changing shit. Prime example. Not to, fully agree with Trump, but the abortion ban, to a certain extent, needs to exist because, like, I'm not saying like it should be like at all cases, but like, if you're not ready for a child, you should have kept your legs closed in the first place. Or at least took birth control, because like those condom things, they aren't as good as people think they are. All I gotta say, if you're not ready for a kid, keep your legs closed, women, because like, it just, the world don't work the way you think it does. The world works the way the world works. And yes, I did call out a lot of women, because, a lot of women always sit there and they're just like, oh, it's my body. Yeah, it may be your body, but that life growing inside you is not yours to take. Women who abort a healthy child prematurely just so then they can quote unquote avoid a parent issue or whatever, like, I don't care what your reasons are. If the kid is perfectly healthy, after it's born, put it up for adoption. I feel like women who do the selfish thing and abort a perfectly healthy baby should be tried for manslaughter and murder, and so too the doctors as well, because the doctors are just as guilty for saying yes and going through with the abortion. I'm not necessarily a Trump supporter because, honestly, I'm not a fan of him. He can lose some of his attitude towards certain people and shit. But I will say this. The man's ideals are top-notch, cutting edge, good shit. He is gonna put us down the path that we're supposed to take before the Civil War happened and divided us into liberals, which is the blue coats, and the people who actually give a damn, which is the gray coats. I mean, the whole Democrat-Republic system, it's just a tug of war between the blue coats and the gray coats, and it's been like that ever since the Civil War, and it needs to stop. The government needs to sit there, disband, and be rebuilt as a completely different government system, because, like, at first the Democrat-Republic thing was working. However, I feel like instead of having everything voted upon, I feel like we should get one leader, have him make the decision, but having, like, 2 or 3 advisors that, let him know, hey, this might end bad, or hey, this might not work. And everybody says, oh yeah, no, that way of thinking is the reason why other countries don't, do so well. Dude, hear me out. Listen to what I have to say. We need a unified government system like what other countries have, because the American standard of how a government should be run has failed us years ago. We need a new sound government system, but we need to take inspiration from other countries. I'm not saying we should go full communist, but it does have its perks. However, if you take like a system like, prime example, Japan, you got the prime minister, and then you got, the 10, executives or whatever. And then each of those executives represent a different thing, like agriculture, one represents military, one represents and so forth. Take that government system, take a smidget of communism, sprinkle a little bit of democracy on top, just a little bit, like just a pinch of salt status. Bam! No infighting. It's ran by one person with 10 advisors, each advisor, voicing concerns of each individual specific need or specific, area of expertise. And those advisors, voice the concerns of said, groups. It's a sound strategy. And then like the communism, of course, first come, first serve status, like if like vaccines or something ran out or whatever, is running out, they have a higher chance of, getting a second of that item. Meaning that if they go in, then, they go in right after, it's just, limited supply. Might as well ration it to whoever, comes to grab it. Because I feel like it shouldn't be like, oh yeah, we have all this, but we're only going to give it to the select group of people. Because, we only have limited supply, so only, these particular people get it. No. I feel like it should be first come, first served, or if you are gonna distribute something, make sure you have enough to distribute to everybody, not just the select few. Prime example. The whole giving out money to like elderly for like stuff like Social Security and whatnot. If you're gonna do it for a select group of people, you might as well do, hand it out to like people who actually need it, like people who can't, like people who don't have a roof over their head. Why give it to us? Well, I'm not saying us as, like, me, but I'm saying, like, us as a whole, when you could be using that money to getting half these people off the streets. Because if you get them off the streets, cleaned up, give them a stable roof to live under, a stable job, that's only all that's gonna do is improve our country by 100%. You get these people off the street. You get them working. The more people you have working, because like everybody says, oh yeah, all our jobs are shipped over to China. All of our stuff is shipped to all these other countries. First of all, our jobs aren't shipped to China. Our jobs are still here. The problem is the American standard is lazy because of all this stupid shit to make them live off money that wasn't even supposed to be theirs in the first place, because like they got two arms, they got two legs. Big, like I can totally see like a big, 400 to 500 pound dude working security. It's not that hard. You don't like when you work security, you don't necessarily have to stand up. You could literally just sit in a chair and, keep an eye on shit. It's a good paying job. But guess what? You got the skinny little shits running around who can't even throw a decent punch running security. Like, people like me. I am not that intimidating. Like, I was at this one place, right? They had a security officer. Dude was skinnier than me. He didn't look intimidating at all. But you see like a big, 400 to 500 pound dude who could body slam you into a wall. That's intimidating. But yet people who are that big are lazy. And before you say, no, medical. The only medical issue that they have is using a medical excuse to sit on their asses and lift burgers. I know people who are like 600 to 700 pounds, like they were in my high school. They ran faster than me. They were more energetic than me. They were lifting weights. Like these were like big dudes. They had no medical issues. They said that they'd much rather drop dead than sit on their ass and not do anything. Now that's the American standard we need. We need people who don't care about medical issues and just wants to... Because, like, I understand, like, if you, like, have, like, bad knees or bad hips and shit like that. But when you're, like, 400 to 500 pounds and you get medical, that should not be allowed. That should be illegal, for one, because, you're sitting there and you're living off a system just so then you can, continue to be lazy. Like, it's laziness, because they would have never got that big if they would have actually, do what I do. Like, see, yeah, it's true, I have high metabolism, but I do consume a lot of junk food. But how do I keep myself in shape? I exercise. I go for walks, like really big, 6 to 7 hour walks. I lift weights. I do squats. Like, I make sure that I burn off more calories than I ingest into my body. Because, unlike, lazy people, I refuse to get that big. Because when you're that big, that's laziness. It has nothing to do with a medical problem, because they wouldn't have got that big if they actually exercised in any way, shape, or form. Like, hell, even just, like, walk into a gas station or something is exercise, like, just, come on. You only get that big through laziness. Like, I understand, like, if it's, like, diabetes and shit like that. See, that is the exception. But when you sit there and you're just like, oh, I have a low metabolism, so I can't keep the weight off. Sure you can. I have a couple of family members who lost a shit ton of weight and their metabolism sucks. If they can do it, anybody can do it. Those are just the facts. And this is like me talking about, things that concern me and stuff like that. This is the chill part of the video. Because, like the video says, listen to music and chill. And lately my videos have been turning into a talk show. So, hi, welcome to my talk show. But all I gotta say is, like, the American standard has failed us, And we need something new, something fresh, a new system to be put in play immediately. And I believe Trump is the best candidate, even though I'm not really a fan of him. However, he is the best candidate to get the job done. A job that 20 presidents couldn't do ever. And that is force change. Because change, you can't just have change happen. You gotta force change. Like, I understand that makes me sound like a tyrant. But you're only a tyrant if you use that to oppress people. But like once the change happens, people realize, hey, these guys aren't that bad. I'm gonna end this particular video because, don't get me wrong, I like Space Engineers, but still kind of waiting for the update that's more than likely never gonna happen. Because they are working on a second survival game called Space Engineers 2. I will reiterate what I said, like, to all my friends. Survival games should never have a part 2. That is a sacred line that you should never cross when making survival games. When you make a survival game, you stick to the one survival game and you push it to its limits. And then if you can't push it to its limits, you make another survival game, but you never base it off from the first one. Space Engineers 2 should have been called something else. Like, anything could have worked. Space Pioneers, hell, they should have just named it after the frickin' Almagas system. Just call the game the Almagas System Project or some shit. Like, really? Space Engineers 2? Like, no. Just, no. Don't get me wrong. I like Space Engineers, and the devs do a phenomenal job on their games. But even if the game is technically the second part of this game, since it takes place in a different universe, or a different, solar system, and is like a incredibly unique experience all by itself, they shouldn't compare it to the first game, because if it's, better than the first game, they should have just called it, instead of Space Engineers 2, which means that there's it implies that there's a story when there's not. This is a sandbox survival game. There ain't no story, and if you tell me that there is, you're lying. Because this game never had a story. Yeah, if you play the game modes, yeah, those have story. But that is technically spawned in story. Like, that's no different than me building this base and, putting up terminals that explain how this base came to be and, what kind of residents live in it. That's not a story. That's flavor text. That's flavor text for role-playing. It's not a story. But yeah, I'm gonna end this video. Nope, save. Yes.